You're on.
Hey. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today we are going to do some spring and Mother's Day crafts. I have two kits here. Sorry, and my name is Kim from the Best Ideas for Kids. Should have introduced myself first. Sorry about that. I'm the creator behind the Best Ideas for Kids, and I do lots of kids crafts and activities. And so today I'm going to walk through two Mother's Day and spring crafts with you guys. Super easy. You don't need a lot of supplies, and I'm going to show you what you need, and I'll make sure to take it nice and slow so you have time to grab what you need. So what I'm doing today is actually inspired by two of my craft kits. These are available at Michael's, and right now they are on clearance. So if you go in store and you don't find the specific ones still left in store, they are on the Michael's website. So make sure you check that out. But this Handprint Craft Kit, we are going to make the butterfly. Don't worry if you don't have the kit. I'm going to show you how to make it without the kit too. And then we are going to make the vase here with flowers from this kit. And again, if you don't have the kit, that's okay. I'm going to show you how to make it without the kit as well. So you guys ready to get started? It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's flip it over and I'll show you what you need. Okay, and I also have Lindsay here with me. She's going to help answer any of your questions. So if you guys have questions about any of the steps or what you need, or you want me to go back and redo something, just let me know. Happy to address any of your questions. So while we have some people coming in, and I'm going to show you what we're going to make today, how about you guys tell me where you're from and yeah, where you're joining us from today, basically. So I had mentioned for Mother's Day, so these are the two crafts we're going to make here, and I just wanted to show this little extra one too from the kit. So the first is the Handprint Butterfly, and so I'm going to show you how you actually can turn this into a card when we make it on our own, but this one was made with the kit materials. And then this is our 3D vase. And again, I'll show you how to do this on your own, but this is made with the kit. And then the final idea, just to leave you with, if you like the handprint sort of crafts, this one is also in the kit, but it's also something you could do with buying all the materials separately, or if you already have them. And you could write "I will always love you" on the back of this one for Mother's Day as well. So those are the two. So let's start with the butterfly. This is like one of my favorite crafts. So I'm going to start by showing you the kit first, then I'll show you how to make it without the kit, so with materials you have at home. So while I go through the kit, here's what you need if you want to make it at home. You need some sort of paper. You can use construction paper in the color that you want to make the wings. So I'm going to use this purple just to make it a little different. And then you need a color for the body of the butterfly, some googly eyes. You could also draw the googly eyes on, the eyes on the butterfly. So you don't need googly eyes, but I really love googly eyes because they're so cute. Scissors to cut out, and then some sort of black marker just to write the mouth on. And then you can decorate the wings however you want. This one has pom-poms. I'm going to actually use these little foam circles for the one that I make on my own. But you could also use gems, buttons. You could add paper to it or just color on it. So there's lots of options for decorating the butterfly wings. Okay, so while I walk through this one, make sure you guys grab some of the materials. You basically need paper, scissors, and a marker, and these things are optional. You can decorate with paper if that's all you have, and you can draw on the eyes yourself too. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. while I open up the kit and show you everything that's included in the Handprint Craft Kit. So this is the Handprint Craft Kit. So this comes with everything you need to make all of these animal handprints. I'm just going to go ahead and open it up here. Oh, it's already open. Take out supplies to show you what's included here. Just keep that to the side. Okay, so because it makes 6 different ones, I'm just going to pull out the materials we need for the butterfly. So we need 2 cards here, and we need inside here the butterfly body. Two antenna, googly eyes. And I really like how this kit comes with some of the more difficult shapes pre-cut, because some of them can be difficult to draw and cut out if you're not that great at cutting. So here we go, all that out. And then these little adhesive dots are just an easier way to glue on pom-poms. So I'll show you kind of how that works. You can buy these separately too. They're called glue dots. So you can get these on your own for using with more difficult materials like pom-poms and pipe cleaners. It just makes things a little bit easier. Okay, so for this one, you have 2 papers. So you're going to want to trace your hand on one of the papers. So you could actually trace it on both. I guess I'm going to use my hand. This is going to be a big butterfly. But my daughter's, I traced my daughter's hand earlier. So that's hers. So this hand's going to be a lot bigger. That's okay. I'm going to show you. Trace your hand. And then to save time, or you can just trace on both and cut them out separately. But to save time, I'm just going to trace the one and then put the papers together to cut them both out. Out my handprint now. It's actually is really cute to do for a grandma gift too. So you can make one, like kids can make one, which would be a smaller butterfly, and then mom or dad could make one too. And then you can give 2 cards to grandma for Mother's Day, and she'll get one from her son or daughter, and then she'll get one from her grandchild. So I have actually done that, and it is so, so cute. So this will probably go to my mom for Mother's Day now. So I've got my 2 handprints there. So those are going to be my butterfly wings.
Can you go over again how you got the 2 with that trick?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So all I did was I traced, let me show you. I traced my hand. It was actually the other way, this hand. So I have 2 papers here. So you just layer your paper on top of each other. It just saves time cutting out. Like you could trace both separately and cut them out separately, but it just makes it faster, and then they look the same too. So it's a little bit more uniform when you go to create the butterfly. So I traced it, had my 2 papers here stacked. Actually, you don't have to have them stacked when you're tracing. It's more just for the cutting. So you trace one, stack your paper, and then when you cut out, you just cut them out at the same time. So you hold the 2 pieces of paper together and cut. If that's too difficult for kids, you can just trace them separately and then cut them out separately. All right, good question. So we have the 2 butterfly wings now. Now I flipped this over so the my pencil marks aren't showing, you can lightly go with a eraser and just erase those if you do have some pencil marks showing through. Or you can just flip it to the other side so you don't see it. So the next step is I'm going to glue the body on that came with the kit. So when I walk this through again, I'll show you, you can just, so for the body, I'm just going to glue this on with the glue stick that comes with the kit. So while I do this, I have some questions for you guys. I'd like to know, I actually have some would you rather questions and some trivia questions for today. So my first question for you guys is, would you rather go to a butterfly conservatory or a big botanical flower garden? So wondering what you guys think about that. I glue the body to connect my two rings together. So that's good. That's all glued together. Got our butterfly. And then I'm going to take the antenna, glue those on. So these came pre-cut. But again, I'll walk through how to make them yourself once we go through this a second time. I'm just going to glue that on. Oops.
So the majority are saying the butterfly. There are still a few flower gardens though.
Nice. I actually love going to butterfly conservatories. It's so neat to be able to see butterflies that aren't native to your area. We have one close to us that we like to go to. So, okay, so I got the antennae on. So I'm going to work on the face next. I'm going to add these googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, you can just draw like little dots on and make your own face with a black marker. So I'm going to add the smile with my black marker. So if you don't have googly eyes, you can just do kind of 2 little dots with a black marker too. So the last step then for the kit is to decorate with your pom-poms. So we've got these adhesive dots that make it really easy to stick the pom-poms on. I love these because they're not very messy. They're really not messy at all. They're just a little sticky. You stick them on where you want to put the pom-pom, and then the pom-pom goes on, and you don't need any glue. So it's super easy. I'm going to do that 3 times. Little sticky dots on. And then do my other side. Okay, now for a trivia question. Does anyone know what body part a butterfly uses to taste their food?
So there are a few comments on going back over how you cut out the body and the antenna. This came in the kit, correct? So you'll show them in the next step?
Yeah, so this version is from my kit if anyone's joining late. This version is from the Handprint Craft Kit, and it comes with the body and the antenna already pre-cut for you, so you only have to glue it together. But now that this one's done, so those are my 2 examples from the kit, I'm going to walk through how to do it without the kit. And so I'll show you guys that now. So these are the 2 from the kit, turned out super cute. So I've got a mommy one and a kid version. My mom's going to be pretty happy with these for Mother's Day, I think. So I'll leave this one here as our kind of example, but this is the one I just made. So now for doing it on your own. If you don't have the kit, don't worry, I will show you what to do now. So I'm just grabbing paper. So same idea, you need colored paper and 2 colors if you want, or you could do the same color. But I like having kind of the differences with the body and the wings. So I'm going to use these 2 colors. So what you want to do first, this is like a little trick for getting the wings without having to cut them out separately again. And how I usually make handprint cards is I will always fold over the paper. So start by taking your paper and folding it in half. Okay. Then get your pencil and you want to trace your handprint so that the thumb is along your folded part here. So if I open this up, folded there. So I'm going to trace, put the hand down, and then I'm going to trace my handprint. You might need somebody to help you do this if you use your right hand. Other way I could do it is actually, this makes more sense. Flip the paper over, and then if you're right-handed, you can do it. You can trace your left hand. So I'll do it this way. So you want to make sure that, again, your thumb is against that this folded part of the paper. Okay, so it's folded. I'm going to trace my hand. You can also just cut them out individually and glue them together too. But this is just, it's a little bit faster and it keeps the handprints connected, which makes it easier to turn it into a card. Okay, so there's my handprint. And then this is actually my daughter's I traced earlier today. So I'll cut them both out so you can see what they look like. But again, the thumb, actually I didn't put hers quite as along the thumb here, but that's okay. So turn out how I want it to.
And going back to your last trivia question, most are saying with the antenna. Is that correct?
It is not actually. They actually use their feet to taste the food. So they'll land on a leaf. And this is for when they're laying their eggs. Sorry, I should have clarified. So maybe that's where the confusion came in. So when they're laying their eggs, they use their feet to taste the leaf to see if it's a food that the caterpillar would want to eat. So pretty interesting. So there's the one, and I'll cut out the next. So while I'm doing this, another thing on butterflies that I have a little fact here for you guys is, what does anyone know how to tell the difference between a butterfly and a moth? So as I'm cutting this one out, you can see a lot of the, like I'm not cutting where I traced it perfectly, and that's okay. See a lot of the pencil marks. Don't worry about that. Just get an eraser and erase those off before you finish the card. Okay. I've got 2 handprints cut out now. So now what you can do is open it up. And you've got your wings there already. But they're connected, which is nice. So it makes it a little bit easier to turn into a butterfly. So I'll use my daughter's hand to continue to go with, just so we can kind of match that. So for the body now, you'll have to draw this on your own. But kind of just like a circle top, and then shape like that. You can also do just more of like this kind of a shape.
Your the body of your drawing is slightly out of frame. There we go.
Oh, sorry, there we go. Thank you for that. Yeah, you could do like a circle shape like that, and then you could glue on the head separately if you find that a little bit easier. But I'm gonna, or the other thing you can do actually, if you want to make it even on both sides is fold over a little bit of your paper there and then draw kind of like half of it. That way, when you cut it out, it'll be perfectly even on both sides. And we want to be able to fold it in the middle anyway. So I'll use this one. And I'm going to cut this out. See how this looks.
Some of the guesses to tell the difference is by the color. The moths are bigger. The moth's antenna are fuzzier and their wings are smaller. And most of them though are just saying that they're bigger.
Yeah. So there's a couple things that the antenna is usually one of the easiest ways I find to be able to tell the difference. So yeah, the antenna of a moth tends to be more feathery, whereas the butterfly antenna are thinner and not feathery. So that's one way. And then moths are active at night typically, and butterflies are more active during the day. So that's another difference. And when their wings are resting, this is a new one I actually didn't know until I was looking at some of these facts, was a butterfly wings will actually, so when they're resting on a leaf, they'll be closed, whereas a moth wings actually rest with their wings open. That's kind of neat. And then the other difference is when they are going from the caterpillar phase to the butterfly phase, butterflies will make a chrysalis and moths will make a cocoon. So those are some of the differences. So pretty cool. So we've got here our body now. So I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fold it the opposite way because I'm going to make this open up like a card. So this is connected and you can kind of fold it both ways. When I made this, I made it on a folded edge. So that'll kind of give you a guide. So I'm going to glue this on so that our folded parts line up. And then we'll be able to fold it over so we can write something inside of the card. Glue that on. And then fold it. And now you can see. Now, a bit more glue. You can kind of see how now you could give this to someone like this. It's not done, but then inside we can write a message. When I'm done, I'll go through and erase some of that, or it might be easier to do that before you glue it on even. Your marks, so it doesn't show, but yeah, I would probably erase it before I glued it on. But for the purposes of this class, you guys can see kind of what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to fold it back open to finish decorating my butterfly. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the antenna. I'm going to use my leftover paper here. And it's already folded over. So if I make one or draw one and cut it out, then I'll get to that match. So I'm going to do that and kind of just make little lines here that come out curved. And I'm going to cut that out. There you go. And I'm going to glue these to the back, like so. And you want them kind of in the middle. Oops. Do need to let the glue dry a little bit. Okay, let's get my antenna on. And I'm going to add googly eyes to this one too. I love googly eyes, are so cute. But if you didn't have googly eyes, again, you could just draw on your eyes with a marker. This looks so adorable. Okay, so and then I'm going to draw the mouth on. And for the wings, I think I showed you guys in the beginning, I have these like foam little circles. So I'm going to add these to my wings for this card. So pom-poms, but there's so many options to decorate with. So, you know, you could even draw, use paper. You could, if you have like little craft gems. Oh, I wonder if I can move that one. Okay, well, that's super cute. So you could add paper there. There's so many options to decorate your butterfly wings. So my butterfly is done, but now because I fold it in the middle, I'm going to hold it back up so you can see how it can open like a card. So you actually could put this in an envelope like this as a card, and then when someone gets it, they open it up and you can write a message inside. So I'm going to write Happy Mother's Day.
Dominique just had a suggestion to put the words on the fingers.
Yeah, I love that. You could do that too, especially if you're using one from the kit. You could still fold it in the middle too, but that's an option as well, for sure. Yeah, you could put different things you love about your mom or grandma on the fingers as well. So really fun, easy handprint butterfly card.
That's very cute.
So that's our first craft. So I'm going to show you the next one now and how you can make it with the kit and without the kit. So same kind of steps. So the next one is more of a gift kind of keepsake you could make and give to mom. And this comes in our Coloring Pages kit. It's available at Michael's. If you can't find it in store, it is on the Michael's website and it is on clearance right now for just over $3. So incredible deal. So I'll show you what's included. So the kit comes with everything actually you need to make these 16 images. Open this up and I'm going to find the paper we need. There's the 16 pages. It also comes with step-by-step instructions for each one. I'm going to find the vase one. Of course, it's going to be by the last one. There it is. Okay, so flowers. And then in here, I'm going to take my glue and line the paper, the vase. So there's the vase and the leaves. So you can see kind of here, showing you for each one, which sheet goes with which picture. So I'll put the rest of these to the side because these are for the other pictures. And we'll go ahead and start making this one. So to start, I won't take the whole time coloring this, but I'll just show you guys you know, color. You would start by coloring your stems. And then coloring your flowers. So you can color it however you'd like. And then I really like these sequins. You can actually add some of the sequins to the center of the flowers, or you could even add pom-poms. I'm going to take out a couple of these and just glue these on. Show you guys. A yellow one. Oops. Don't worry if you get some glue globs, because the glue will dry clear. I'll do these. Some of my flowers. There you go. Okay. So you can imagine it be all colored, kind of like this one here. My daughter did this one. Okay, so then you have your vase to build and add to the bottom. And I'll show you how to do this on your own as well. Punch these all out. Okay. I got my 3 leaves punched out. Okay, so these are perforated, so you just need to fold them in half, and they're all the same shape. So when we go to make this on our own, we're going to want to make a bunch that are the same size, same shape, so we can glue them together. So I have them all folded. So what you start to do then after that, after you've got them folded, is you glue these 2 sides together like that. Now, sometimes glue can be a little tricky because it does take some time to dry. So we'll see. Might not 100% cooperate with me, but I'll do my best. The key is really allowing the time for the paper to dry. So you start gluing all these together until they're all together. So I'm going to alternate the colors.
Did you punch out each piece for that specific vase that was in the kit?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it all of these pieces came in the kit. I needed to be punched out. I just have one more to glue on here. Okay, so I would probably let this dry as a whole before trying to glue it down to my image, but because I want to show you guys, you can kind of see that now how it like opens up and it's 3D, super, super cool. And then you glue that down to your image. Because this is still drying, like the individual pieces together, it might pop up a little bit, be a little bit finicky. So again, I would let this whole part dry before trying to glue it down to the paper, but we don't have the time. So I'm going to glue it down. So you just put the glue on the one side and then I got to get it on the other side. Okay, like that. So my daughter's 4, so she didn't glue all of the pieces down, but she did this on her own. It still looks great with a couple less pieces. This one's only has the 3 connected here. It still gives you that fun 3D effect, but now you can see here, like with all 5 pieces, how it looks a little bit more 3D and pops a little bit more too. Super, super cool and fun. And then there's just these 3D leaves you can add to it too. And they're perforated, so you can bend the bottoms there, add some glue, and just glue them wherever you like. And I will probably finish coloring this once the class ends. I won't bore you with all my coloring. I have another would you rather question just as I finish gluing this down here. The theme is really all about butterflies and bugs. We made the handprint butterfly. So my next would you rather question is, would you rather be able to fly or be invisible? You guys think about that. Okay, so that is the kit one done. I mean, obviously it's not colored in, but you guys can, if you have the kit, take your time to color in your image, and you have this fun 3D picture you can give for Mother's Day. So now I'll show you guys how to do this on your own. We'll use this as our little sample guide again to look at. So for the vase, I'm actually just going to use one color. I picked out this blue. And then I just lost her. I've got 3 pages here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my own vase. And first I'm going to fold over the paper so that I can get it to be symmetrical. So that is really the key, is that you need both sides of the vase to be the same shape so that when you fold them together, they will line up. So I'm going to draw this one a little bit of a different shape. I'm going to come out. I'm going to come down and across like this. And probably better to use a ruler just so you can cut it a little bit more straight as you're drawing, but okay, this is my vase shape. So now the nice thing about folding it over and drawing it is you've got even on both sides. So now I have like a template to work off of. I'm going to use that to cut out, I need 4 more because I want to do 5 again. So I'm going to basically take this and cut out paper that'll fit this size.
So I am seeing a lot of both answers.
Oh, nice. That was a hard one to pick.
Yes, that's hard to choose.
Make sure you save all your scrap paper for other projects too. There's always so many things you can do with scrap paper. Okay, so I've got my template. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, 4 papers underneath because I want 5 exact matching ones. Just like with the kit, it came with 5 already punched out. We're going to try and make our own. So as a template, the one I made by folding over to make it symmetrical, I'm going to use this to draw one for the other ones. So if you have heavy duty scissors, you should be able to cut through all these papers. I'm thinking I I could probably do it, yeah. If your scissors aren't that strong, you might have to cut them out and just trace one by one. But to save time here, I'm cutting them all out at the same time. So my paper is just layered underneath. Okay. Need all these papers, but I'm saving them because I've got lots of scrap paper projects. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 identically sized vases. So we need to fold them in half because again, this one came, it was already pre-perforated for us. So now we need to create that same kind of fold mark in the middle so that we can glue the sides together like we did with the kit version. I'm going to fold all of these. This was my template already folded. Okay. So now same idea. We're going to glue each side to each side. So the kit comes with this glue. It's an extra strong glue. But if you don't have this glue, I really like Elmer's extra strong glue, extreme glue, it's called. You can get this at Michael's. This one, maybe, sorry, hopefully it comes out. It tends to, for a little bit trickier projects, it's just a little, it's got like a stronger hold to it. So that's what I like versus just regular school glue. So again, it's called Extreme School Glue by Elmer's, and it is washable still. So take each one and we're gluing them together like this so we don't have any more.
Could they get the same effect if they only have 3 pieces cut out?
Yeah, so the 3 pieces would be like my daughter's that she made. You still get the same effect, it just doesn't have as many layers. So here, let me show you the difference again. Move the glue out of the way. So this is with 3 papers and this is with the 5. So you just get a little bit more of a 3D effect, but the 3 still looks great too. Yeah, so to save some steps, make it a little bit easier for younger kids, definitely 3 is still good to use. Okay, so if you have time to let that dry, I would let that dry before trying to glue it to your paper, but we don't have time today because I want to show you what it's going to look like. So I'm going to glue it and kind of show you where it's going to glue down here. Before I glue it down though, I'm going to add my stems for the flowers. So you can draw, you could actually just make the vase and then draw your own flowers coming out of it. So that's an option. The other option is you can use paper for the stems, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut out just a couple thin lines here. Flowers. And so how that looks. And I'm going to glue this down first so that I can put my vase on top. So I want them to be kind of different heights. Maybe I'll do 3. So kind of different heights so that we can get some interest going on. So glue this down. If you don't have green paper, just draw your flowers on with some markers or pencil crayons, even paint. But the fun thing about the flowers with this project is there's so many options to decorate them, so many options to make them, which I love. Okay, so now when we put our vase on, you don't have to worry about lining it up to be flush with the vase because we're going to glue the vase on top. So that looks great. So while I'm gluing the vase down, my next question was, and I have another would you rather question. Would you rather be able to change the weather or talk to bugs? And I can't wait to hear what you guys think or what your choice would be. Just gonna shift that down a little bit. Okay. So you can see the paper is a little bit moving a little bit there just from the glue. Once the glue dries, it won't be quite as kind of bubbly looking. Okay, so for the flowers, you can again draw the flowers on if you want. You can paint flowers on. I actually grabbed some little mini cupcake liners to show you another option. This is something else that you can use. And I'm gonna glue these down. And then once you glue them down, you can kind of decorate them with little pom-poms inside, or you can use really anything. Inside as well. I actually have yellow pom-poms to glue inside, so I'm not going to use the yellow flowers, although I love the way the yellow flowers look. So I'm going to do 2 dark pink ones and a light pink one. If you have like larger cupcake liners, you can just glue this onto a bigger paper too, if you like. Again, if you don't have cupcake liners, that's okay too. You can use so many other things to make your flowers. Even just painted flowers are so, so pretty. I also really like, you can take a fork and you can paint with a fork and it makes like a tulip shape. So you dip the fork into paint and it makes a really pretty tulip shape.
So far we have David, Megan, and Elena that want to be able to talk to bugs, but everybody else would like to be able to change the weather.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. I thought more would want to talk to bugs. I wonder what a bug would tell you if you could talk to a bug. But I guess changing the weather would be nice, because if it's raining, you could make it sunny, and if it's not snowing, you could make it snow, and then you could go build a snowman. So I'm just gluing these pom-poms in. This glue will work well on pom-poms. You just need to let it dry really well, or like give it time to dry, and then it does tend to keep it. So that is our kind of DIY version of the kit. So you could actually draw a shape like this too and make it the same look, but I just wanted to do a different shape so you can see, as long as it's symmetrical, you can pretty much make a 3D vase out of any shape. So does anyone have any questions about the 2 projects we made today? So I'll bring back our butterflies. There we go. So
no questions, just a lot of really good comments. They love these projects.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Awesome. I'm glad you guys like them. Well, that'll wrap it up, Lindsay. If you want to flip it around, I'll kind of show everybody the kits again. Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining again. I'm glad you love the projects. Just wanted to show you the front of the kits again. So this is the Coloring Pages kit. It makes 16. You can see on the back, it is just over $3 at Michael's right now in the US. And this is the Handprint Craft Kit, and it makes 6 handprint crafts. And it's the same price. They're all the same price. There's 9 different kits from the Best Ideas for Kids that you can get. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. You can actually find me on Instagram, and my handle is @BestIdeasForKids. My website, thebestideasforkids.com, or if you search the Best Ideas for Kids, it should come up. And then on Facebook as well, you can search me, the Best Ideas for Kids, and my page should come up there as well. Those are kind of the 3 areas I'm most active on. I would love to see if you guys have made these projects, to tag it with hashtag Make It With Michaels, tag me @Best Ideas for Kids. And you can also tag Michaels, hashtag Michaels Classes. And that's it for today. So thank you again for joining. I hope you had fun and that you'll make these projects, and I'm sure mom or grandma will love receiving them too. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hope you have a good day. Bye.